we have a choice after we come out of something. Are we going to stay the same, or are we going to walk into who we are meant to be?
I'm Ashley White, the host of Joy on the Journey podcast, a weekly podcast all about defining, finding, and maintaining joy on the journey of life. I have promised, and I hope I've delivered, intentional, transparent, and vulnerable conversations with women that inspire me. And this week, y'all, this week is real special. I have the privilege of speaking with Stacy Davis. Stacy is a wardrobe stylist and blogger, and she's passionate about helping people look and feel good without breaking the bank. Her blog and Instagram name is Stacy the Survivor, which originated after she developed Stevens-Johnson syndrome in December of 2012. Her recovery was nothing short of a miracle, and it has prompted her to live out her purpose. Stacy, thank you so much for joining the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here. I'm excited to share about my testimony and share about the joy that I've found the past 12 years. So thank you.
No, it is my pleasure. So, Stacy and I were introduced by a mutual friend who's also been a guest on the podcast, Wendy, because I was mentioning to her I needed help, y'all. I needed some severe help on knowing how to dress my body and, most importantly, feel good in my wardrobe. And so Stacy and I started working together 2022. 2022. And
Yes.
she has transformed my closet, my wardrobe, and given me a boost of confidence. So I just want to thank you
Absolutely.
so much before we even get started.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I'm always here to help, and I'm always here to inspire you through style. So
That's good. Y'all heard
Thank
that? Inspire us through style. And she does. So let's hop into the podcast, which, as I said earlier, is all about defining, finding, and maintaining joy on the journey of life. So I am very curious. How would you define joy?
I would define joy as peace within. So being content with no matter what situation you're in, good or bad, having that peace, having that solid, firm foundation in Christ, having faith, and knowing that good or bad, you're going to be okay. So to me, I see joy as peace within and something that you carry every single day. A lot of times people think of joy as happiness, and those are two different things. Joy is really internal. It's all about how you process and choose to feel each day. It's a choice. Happiness is when things are happening. You can, get something new or experience a new life-changing event and you are happy. But when that goes away, that happiness fades, joy stays forever. It's deeply rooted. It's inside of you. You choose joy every morning that you wake up.
Oh, that's good. Being rooted and then choosing that joy. So have there been moments of life experiences where you had to stretch to choose joy?
Absolutely. I think the biggest one for me was in 2012 developing Stevens-Johnson syndrome. And that was a life-changing event for me. It changed everything. Not just for me, but for my family and friends. I got sick. I was taking an antibiotic and didn't know that I was allergic to the medicine that I was taking. So I was taking it for 3.5 weeks, no signs of or symptoms of being allergic to it. And all of a sudden I get cold and flu-like symptoms. That quickly progressed to hives from head to toe. The hives turned into blisters from head to toe. And I knew then that after going to urgent care, the ER twice, like something wasn't right. They kept trying to send me home. And so at the last minute, I knew I needed to get back in, and they were going to have to admit me and figure out what was wrong. They told me I had Stevens-Johnson syndrome, which is when your body develops an allergic reaction and goes beyond just the typical hives treated with Benadryl. So I spent the week of Christmas in the hospital that year. It was horrible, but in the midst of all the pain and wondering if I was going to make it through, wondering if my skin would ever heal, God came in and he gave me joy. He gave me peace about the situation. He told me he was going to heal my body, and he did that. And so it was hard to think about joy in that situation, but I was constantly reminded that he was with me. He wasn't going to leave me, that there was going to be a life after that situation, that there was going to be peace after that situation, that my life was just beginning. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Two things you just said, that there was going to be a life after this and that your life was just beginning. How much, as you think about that experience, how much did that then shape your perspective or your outlook and how you lived in the future?
100%. It completely shaped my future and the way I even looked at life. Before, I was always playing it safe. I never wanted to rock the boat. I didn't want to do anything too crazy with work. I didn't want to do anything too crazy with my style. I just kind of stuck to what I knew. And God was calling to me to so much more. And I believe he had to take me through that in order to see the other side of hell, the other side of trauma, hurt, being sick. And so many of us experience that in different forms, but we have a choice after we come out of something. Are we going to stay the same, or are we going to walk into who we are meant to be? And as a result, I started the blog and the styling business, and I started to talk more about Stacy the survivor and what I've been through. And it's been a blessing, not just for me, but for so many other people around me. And I didn't know that that was what I was born and created to do until 2012. So I thank God for it. I think that it, to answer your question again, it really did shape who I am, who I was to become, and my purpose. Before, I wasn't walking in purpose. I was walking in everyday life. I would get up, I do the routine Monday through Friday, go to work, come home, do my thing, hang out with friends and family, go to church on Sunday, and that was it. I wasn't making an impact. I wasn't living on purpose. And so that experience definitely shaped who I am now.
So when did you, as we, that has been so profound, because I think so many of us, and I know for myself, until there's a tragic moment, right, a painful experience that kind of snaps you from what you have just gotten comfortable doing.
Yeah.
And I want to applaud you for taking the step out of the boat and being willing to say, life before this was good, but I just believe God for greater on the other side. This painful experience has to mean something different.
Absolutely. And in addition to having God and him pushing me to pursue my passion and purpose, I had a community of believers around me too, from family members, my sisters and my mom and close friends, and people saying, really think about what you want to do next. Think about this season that you're in. Rest in it. Ask and seek God and understand why you're going through this. What's the purpose behind it? What does he want you to learn? Use that and put it in your faith file, because you're going to need it later.
Ooh.
And I see it 11 years post that. Like, I see it anytime I go through any kind of situation or storm. I look back on that and say, if God can get me through that, if my community of friends and family got me through that, I can get through anything. And not just me, you too.
Right.
and any other man or woman, anyone, they can get through it all. So,
oh, that's blessed me. That has blessed me so much. I want to ask, as we get more into your journey, when did you develop a love for fashion?
I've always had a love for fashion. Even as a little girl, like I would dress my mom and style her for church and special events and be the one just there shopping. And it was a pastime that we had. It's something we did every other week. We'd go to the mall and shop. And over time, I just kind of got good at it and just started loving fashion and style, and design. And my friends in high school would be like, okay, we want you to take us shopping and let's find homecoming dresses and let's find prom dresses. And so before you know it, I knew it. I was styling everyone that I knew, like, and it became so natural and fun and something that I enjoyed doing, second nature, if you will. Over time, I've always had a passion for finding the best deals and getting the most bang for your buck. My motto is helping you look and feel good without breaking the bank. And I'm still true to that. I don't think that you have to pay full price for anything, including luxury. Like, you can find deals, you can find things on consignment, you can find pieces that you love without paying full retail. And it gives you peace of mind. It helps you stay within budget. It allows you to do some other things with your finances. So I've always kind of been passionate about the fashion and style, and then doing it within budget and reason.
Do you think that God has given you a gift to see inner beauty in order to pull it out?
Absolutely. What you wear is probably 10% of your style. 90% of it is confidence. It's what's on the inside. I can dress you up. I can tell you to go get your makeup done and get your hair done and get your nails done and get you in the flyest fit, but that's nothing if on the inside you're not good. And so confidence is huge. Self-esteem, strong sense of worth. You have to clothe yourself in righteousness. You've got to clothe yourself and encourage yourself every single day before you walk out of the house, whether you're in a hoodie and sweats or if you're suited and booted and ready to take on the world. Like, you've got to have that within. That's that true inner beauty. Mac can't get that for you. H&M can't give that to you.
That's so good and so true. Was this confidence, this inner being, this strength, was that modeled for you by women in your family?
Yes. Women in my family, my mom, my sisters, in addition to all the church ladies that I grew up with. Like, I grew up in a small AME church where women wore big hats and were suited and booted, and they looked amazing. And men were suited as well, and you took pride in what you looked like. You know, you took pride in your church clothes, and when you got out of church, you changed out of them quickly because you wanted to maintain them and keep them in good condition. So I grew up around people who styled like they were fabulous, inside and out. These were people, hardworking people who worked, but they took pride in what they looked like. Like, they took pride in coming in the best version of themselves to church, to work, to show up in life. And those are things that just stuck with me.
What would you say to someone that's like, oh, it's just clothes, or oh, it doesn't take all of that? What would you say to that person?
I would say that, contrary to belief, people judge you off of what you're wearing. And before you even speak and say, hi, I'm Ashley, or hi, I'm Stacy, people are looking at your outfit. It's a direct reflection of you. And those selections, they're powerful. It's a way of saying who you are without even speaking. You walk into the room, you bad. You've taken that time, that additional time to fix your hair, to put your makeup on, to make sure your clothes are ironed, make sure your shoes are together. That's showing who you are, who you're showing up for. That's why when you go on an interview, they always tell you, dress for success, dress for your best, put on a good suit, make sure it's clean, make sure it's ironed. You want to present the best version of yourself. That's very important. I don't care if you're, again, in a sweatshirt and sweatpants, a hoodie, or whatever, or if you're in a full-on suit or a gown. Bring your best every single day.
bring your best every single day. That's such an important lesson. And let's talk about the financial piece, because that was my concern when I got started with Stacy. I was like, now listen, don't come in here and throw away all of my clothes, because I don't know if I can just replace them.
Absolutely. Budget is always top of mind. It's the first thing that I talk about with clients. And I believe that you can repurpose a lot of things. You can make a lot of things existing in your closet work. I'm a minimalist at heart. I love a capsule wardrobe because I feel like if you have essential pieces, you can mix and match them with prints and color and interchange them for different seasons. So I always tell you to invest in good pieces. They don't have to be expensive. You can get those pieces from H&M. You can even go to Express, and there's so many good stores where you can find a good sale and get essentials and then build upon that. I'm always cautious of budget because I want people to be able to live outside of my styling services. Of course, I have to be paid, but if you say I only have this, we're going to make what you have work.
And will.
And that, if that means Target, if it means Walmart, if it means Forever 21, please stop sleeping on Forever 21, y'all. There are so many stores that will get you what you need. You can get the look for less and still look fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always thinking about budget. I always tell people, miscellaneous expenses shouldn't really ever be more than 25% of your take-home pay. And that's a large amount. That's including nails. That's including skincare, makeup, the whole nine. So being mindful of that is important.
I also want to talk about your self-care routine or regimen. If you follow Stacy on Instagram, and we're going to get out to her handles, it is very inspiring how you care for yourself. Why is self-care important to you?
Self-care is important to me because it deals with the internal side of all things for me. So self-care, let me tell you what self-care looks like for me. It looks like taking bubble baths. It looks like skincare routine and exfoliating and going to Sephora and picking up new pieces that I know will help me with my skincare journey as well as my beauty. It looks like going to the gym. I'm obsessed with Hot Works now. So that's
this one just opened.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's where I go. I'm obsessed. I love it. I start my day with that. It's 15 minutes. I get in a good sweat and I'm ready to start my day. Self-care also includes my devotional and my time with God. That's the first thing I do every day. I take the first 15 minutes and it's me and God. It's praying, it's reading the word, it's having that devotional time, it's praise and worship, it's all of that. And that fuels me for the day. It gets my insides ready. It feeds my soul. It prepares me for the outside world. I'm ready to conquer anything. I've got my Bible time, my quiet time with Jesus. I've got my workout time. I've got some relaxation. I've got some beauty things that are going to help me feel confident because I know I've put all of my efforts into trying to maintain and preserve what I have. Those are some of the things that I do for self-care, but really it's huge. It gives me peace. And right now, peace is everything. I can't buy peace.
Yeah.
I can't buy joy, and I cannot buy love. I can buy a fabulous outfit. I can buy the best makeup. I can get designer shoes. I can get it all. But the fruits of the Spirit, I can't buy those things. And as I get older, each year I realize, like, nothing else matters but that.
Oh, that's good.
It fuels me. It helps me sleep at night. It makes me get up every morning and pursue my passions and fulfill my purpose. Like, those other little things are great, and I want to have them, and they're a necessity, some of them, but a lot of it is a want. But that joy, the love, the peace, self-control, gentleness, you can't buy that.
You cannot. And that's an important lesson for all of us to understand. It starts inside first. God will give strength to your inner being. And then everything else will flow from that.
Yes.
You are an entrepreneur. We've talked about Stacy the Survivor, Style by Stacy. What's that like? To be an entrepreneur in a fashion industry as an African American woman.
It's a lot of fun. I won't say it's easy. There are some days I'm like, okay, Lord, you really want me to do this? But it's a lot of fun. It's very rewarding. There are times where I get to connect with other blogger friends who have become like family, and we teach each other other things, and we say, hey, don't accept this. You need to negotiate this. Like, hey, go all in on this. Like, it may not feel right initially, but with time, like, it's going to come along. We encourage each other. We have a community. It's not easy, but when I feel down or I feel like, oh Lord, why am I here? I call on a friend. I call on him, and he reminds me why I started. Entrepreneurship is not easy, but I've had the blessing to see family members do it. I've seen friends do it and be successful and have their own piece of the pie. Have their own will to do whatever they want to do, whether it be work 9 to 5 or work, 11 to 7, or work 3 days out of the week, and the rest of the time you can pursue farming and bring on new clientele. So it's amazing. I highly recommend everyone who wants to start something, just do it. There's never a perfect way to start anything. I started my blog and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But God sent people to help me along the way. I started talking about my desires, and I started taking delight in God.
Oh.
And He gave me those desires, and He gave me people that helped me pursue purpose. And I didn't realize it in the beginning until stuff started kind of moving along. And it's like, oh, that's why you had me connect with that person. That's why this woman of God keeps calling me and telling me encouraging me and telling me I need to pursue this. And don't forget about your passions. And you light up when you talk about this. Like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And encouragement, I thank God for that. So I tell any and everyone, go for your dreams.
Go for your dreams. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, as we think about, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, when you were in the midst of your battle for your health and your family saying your life begins again, can begin renewed, right? A fresh life. Could you have envisioned where you are now then?
No. I knew that I was going to come out of the situation because I had seen God show up before in my life, but I didn't know how powerful that situation was. I didn't know that there was purpose in my pain. I didn't know that God was going to have me pursue my passions and that He was going to get the glory out of it. That took me so far. And then everyone I met along the way just pushed me. And it was like climbing a ladder. It still is. And I'm amazed every day by what God does.
Oh, that's good. That's a good place to be, as well, as you are trying to build something that you believe in passionately, and then God amazing you with His goodness, with His grace, with His mercy, with His relationships.
Yeah.
I think, especially for women of our generation who are leading the charts as entrepreneurs, having that community and it be organic.
Yes.
Where you can seek support, you can seek encouragement, you can seek love and power. I do believe that there's nothing like having girlfriends, family that's going to say, no, you got it. You got it. No, it's okay. Keep going. Yeah, okay, I know that didn't work out the way you thought it would, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And just a reminder that even though things don't work out the way you think they will, there's still a setup to help you make it. Like, even some of the setbacks, even some of the losses, even some of the things that didn't work out, it's all preparing you to where you're supposed to be. It's just, it's getting you there. It's not a straight line. It's some ups and downs and valleys, peaks. I think once we understand that, we realize that, one, we're not in control. And two, that God really does order our steps when we seek him first, when we're obedient to him, when we trust him, when we believe him, when we put our whole heart in his hands. We leave all the stress and the burdens and the trials and the storms. When we put it in his hands, he turns everything around for our good.
And I thank you for sharing and encouraging someone who God has placed a passion on their heart, has placed purpose in their lives. But it's scary, right?
Scary.
To step out of the boat and try and do something, even though you feel led to do it.
Yeah.
That first step is like, wait, okay. And sometimes you may stumble, but thank you for encouraging us to hold on, to release the control, to even sometimes to release your expectations of what you thought a thing would be, and to trust God and trust his timing.
Those expectations can get us in trouble sometimes because we think that, oh, it's supposed to go this way and that's it. And we forget that God can do it exceedingly abundantly above all we can think or ask.
Yeah.
Like, some of the stuff he's doing is beyond our thought process.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're starting anything new, it's scary. It's rocky. You've got to get your footing. But once you get it, you can run with it. And you use it for so many different things. So,
yeah, thank you. So I want to talk about where you can envision your journey ahead. So the final segment is your journey ahead. And as you are seeking the Lord for greater vision, would you dare share your hopes or your prayer for yourself, for your business over the next 5 years?
my hope, my prayer is that God continues to expand my territory and continue to allow me to work with men and women to help them enhance their styles. I want to inspire them through style. I want to take them to the next level with their confidence through style. I want to do some corporate styling. I want to help some of these kids fresh out of college, starting a job, working in IT, tech, any industry, and help them with their day-to-day style because they need it. And there's a lot that has not been taught yet, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a specific style. I want to help people create their own style, but in that corporate setting, specifically to entry-level professionals. I want to give back. I see myself housing clothing for people in need, for people who can't clothe their little ones, or for young men who don't have access to certain clothes. Tons of opportunities for young ladies. But young men, it's difficult. Men and boys' clothing are more expensive generally. But having a place that can house clothing and where they can come and get those resources, and not just clothes, but tips on job interviews or how to be successful, how to get your first internship, just things that can help them go further.
Oh, I love that. That's a beautiful vision that can help set up someone for a future beyond their wildest expectations or their wildest dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. I can't wait. That's going to be amazing. Amazing. So for anyone that may be listening that's like, oh, I need her help. I feel like I'm wearing the same thing every single week. How can they get in touch with you and your services?
Reach out to me on Stacy the Survivor. That's Stacy the Survivor. On Instagram, on Facebook. Send me a DM. I'm happy to set up a consultation. We can talk through your style and ways that I can help you, and we can go from there. But yes, Instagram is where I am.
Yes, and you will be inspired. Absolutely inspired. Thank you so much, Stacy, for sharing your joy journey with the podcast. Y'all, get in touch. Let her bless your life in ways that are beyond your imagination. It is worth it. I can tell from personal experience, it is worth it to boost your confidence in areas that you didn't know you needed. But it's all well, all well. So please be sure to comment your favorite takeaway from this episode. Like, share, subscribe. Yes, it makes us more discoverable. And until we meet again every single Thursday, may God increase your joy, grant you strength for the journey, and the courage to tell your story. Bye, friends.